You're listening to the Chat City interviews from 103.2 Preston FM.
So the muslin pan is out with a kind of a dirty brown liquid in it.
Orange, please.
Oh, it's orange.
Orange.
Right, okay. So with it being orange and it being the time of year, that means that
several orange marmalade. In the pan, what I'm doing now is actually making the marmalade. But prior to this, I weighed out a kilo of the oranges and
Where can you get them from?
Well, I got these from the market, Berry Market. So what I did with the actual oranges is I cut them in half, squeeze the juice out, put the juice in a jug and the pips and the bits that were left over, the fleshy bits, into a muslin bag or in a muslin square, and I've tied them up. The rest I chopped up very finely, got rid of any really thick pieces of pith, but chopped it up
bitter,
quite,
isn't it?
yeah.
The bitterness, yeah.
But what you can do is you can put it into your blender, not your blender, your food processor, in couple of batches, and then whiz it up, and it makes it quite small. And then you've got to put 2 litres of water over it, and the juice of a full lemon, and the shells of the lemon, and the pips go in the muslin bag.
Okay. So it's citrus, everything's citrus.
Everything's citrus. And then you simmer it quite vigorously for about 2 hours. Certainly an hour and 45, 50 minutes.
Right.
And then what you get is a nice, thick, pulpy mixture. And then you squeeze out with tongs your muslin bag and your lemon.
Now presumably that's full of pectin.
That's right, yes. Now then, I weighed out 1.5 kilos of granulated sugar.
Ordinary sugar, not jam sugar?
It's ordinary sugar, no. And then what I'm doing now is the pulp and the mixture that I had left after removing the lemon shell and the muslin bag is I've added, and remember it's nice and warm, hot still, so I've added my sugar to that and I'm just dissolving it slowly. And this is the secret of making any jam. Always on a low light to begin with, and make sure that you've got no sugar crystals. And
so
you
it's
do
not
that.
grainy.
That's right. You do that by lifting the back of your spoon up, and if you can see,
there's just 1 or 2 grains, aren't there?
There are, yes. So I know that I've just got to carry on for a few more minutes, just stirring it gently. You don't want to air in the mixture; just stir it gently. Don't feel you've got to beat it or anything like that. Just gentle stirring, just to keep it moving. And then what you do is you bring it to the boil once all the grains have gone.
Okay.
Bring it to the boil, and then now the way you find out whether your marmalade is ready
for setting
is it will have reached a temperature, and you have an ice cold saucer or a small plate in the freezer. Get that out a few minutes before you want to test it, and then put a tiny drop, probably a dribble, of the marmalade mixture off the light. Don't keep it bubbling because it'll be setting and setting and setting. So you remove it off the light carefully. Put your dribble of marmalade mixture onto your saucer, and then allow it to cool, and then push it with your finger, and it should wrinkle and stay wrinkled, and then it's set.
So if you get a wrinkle in your marmalade, then you know that's fine.
You know it's fine. If it pushes back through the channel,
so it's
not
still
ready.
flowing.
So you have to put it back on, and then what you do is you leave it boiling for another 2 minutes, lift it off again.
Alright, so just to be clear, we take it off the heat,
you take it off
test
the heat.
it. If it's not ready, put it back on the heat. Okay.
And that goes for any jam setting points. It's not just marmalade.
Because they have different temperatures and all sorts of things.
They do. Now, if you're making jams, just for a tip, and you're using your jam sugar, that takes about 4 minutes.
Okay. Boiling.
Once you've cooked your fruit and prepared your fruit to the recipe.
How long does it take for the marmalade?
The marmalade, without the jam sugar, takes about 15 minutes.
Right, okay.
But, as I say, test it after about 12 minutes.
Now, if you're going to use jam sugar, that's sugar with pectin added.
That's right. Well, in marmalade, I tend not to, because it's full of pectin anyway.
Okay.
You don't really need to. You would get too firmer.
It'd be rock hard.
It would be difficult to spread.
You need a pneumatic drill to put on your toast.
Now that is ready to bring to the boil. So I'm going to turn the heat up now.
So while you're boiling that up, let's talk about getting it into a jar.
Right. Over there, sterilising are 6 450 gram jars with the lids in Milton solution. This will take about 6 450 gram jars. There are abouts. If you find you don't fill one completely, use that one first.
Okay.
So they're all sterilising, and follow the instructions. You can do it in any way you like, but I prefer to do it in the sterilising fluid because I know it's going to be done.
Yeah. And you've got what looks like Boadicea's bra cup.
And I've got my funnel
jam
ready.
Funnel.
Once it's reached the setting point, I leave it then
Okay.
for about 5 minutes just to cool down slightly, and then I stir it so all the peel will stay in
right,
solution
okay, so you're not
evenly.
having peel at the bottom.
That's right, yeah. So, and then you put your funnel over your jar and then ladle your
Carefully.
marmalade.
Because it's really hot, isn't
Very,
it?
very hot. And seal it with the lid straight away.
And that will create
And
a
that
vacuum.
will create a vacuum.
Yeah.
And then you let it cool and then put it in a dark, cool place, and that will keep for years.
Thanks for listening. If you've enjoyed today's interview, why not tweet Huey at ChatCityPFM.